So, good morning everyone. Today we are going to discuss the next topic for the metro system and engineering. We are continuing the first module of metro system and engineering, that is the overview of the metro system and the introductory part, some parts of the requirements, needs and required facilities and important features for the metro system we have already discussed in the previous classes. And today we'll be going to discuss about the classifications of the metro stations and the metro routes. In the last class we have discussed that there are two kinds of metro railway routes. One is the elevated system and another is the underground system. Elevated system is technically called the viaduct system and underground system is technically constructed as a tunnel system. So there are two kinds of metro railway system according to the alignment or the grade of the metro routes. One is under the ground and another one is the above the ground. But in case of the metro stations or the metro route, majorly these two kinds of metro systems are there. One is the elevated and there is the underground. But in case of metro stations, there is another one classification for metro station, that is the adequate station. So if you want to distinguish between the metro routes and the metro stations, let me zoom. Yes. Now, if you want to distinguish between the stations and the routes and the metro system, routes of the metro system, then in case of metro routes, there are two class of system. One is the elevated, that means over the viaduct, and another is the underground, that means through the tunnel. But in case of station, there is another one class of station, that is the adequate station. I'll be discussing about these three kinds of metro stations. First one is the elevated station. Elevated station, already I have told you that the viaduct ring is constructed for the routes of the metro rails. But in case of stations, that means from where passengers are traveling the metro rails or passengers are getting into the metro rails, that platforms and that system thing, the station thing may also be constructed above the ground at a grade from the ground surface. So in that case, in this case of elevated station, the metro rail line follows the road alignment and runs above the road or through a continuous viaduct. This thing, I think you can see this term, that continuous viaduct. This continuous viaduct means that viaduct or the elevated route of the metro system is continuously going vertically parallel to the ground surface. There is no change in the gradation at the point of the stations also. That means if the viaduct is constructed over the fire and all, the route and the stations are at the same level. What is the other kinds of stations? You can understand when we are going to the will be going to the next class of the station. So in this case of elevated station, the route of the metro station, as this is the elevated kind of route of the metro system, the station is also at the elevated kind. That means there are the station or the platform, sorry, not the station is the whole thing. The part of the platform of the station is at a different rate from the ground surface, and the passengers will avail the platforms through some, obviously there should be some mechanism through the staircase or through the lifts or through the escalator. So the entry level of this kind of station are at the level of the road or the ground surface. That means you can see the station is a 3-level station. There are 3 levels in this station, in this kind of station. The road being at the lowest level, and the entry of this kind of station is at the lowest level of the station. That means at the side of the road or at the ground surface. So after entering into the station through the ground, through the entry level of that is behind, is at the ground surface, then followed by the station concourse at the first level. That means after entering into the station through the entry level, that is the ground level, you can go to the next level, that is the station concourse, and through this station concourse the passengers are going to the platform level. Platform level is at the highest level or at the second level of this kind of station, and through the platform they can avail the metro rail for their movement. So in this kind of elevated station there are 3 levels of structures. One is the entry level, that is the ground level, another is the first level, that is the concourse level, and third one is the second level. Third level is actually the second level, that is the platform level. And from the entry level to the concourse and the platform level, passengers can use the staircase, escalators or lifts to go to the other levels. And the ground or road level is and located at the beside the road. So this is the elevated kind of station. Next one is the at-grade station. So this kind of at-grade station, this is slightly different from the elevated station. In this case, there are 2 levels. One is the platform level, and another is the entry level. So this kind of at-grade stations are technically called offshoot elevated station, offshoot kind of elevated station, because in this case the station concourse and the entry level is the same level. Station concourse and the entry level is at the same level, that is situated at the ground level and beside the ground surface of the road. And the platform level is the second level, and the highest level is this kind of at-grade station. And this platform level may be available to the staircase and staircase or escalator kind of thing, kind of facilities. And the track level in this kind of at-grade station is lower than the elevated kind of station of about 4 meters. That means if in the elevated station the track is there, in case of at-grade station the track may be about 4 meter lower level, because there is one level missing. No, the concourse level is the separate concourse level is missing in this case of at-grade station. The other 2 types of stations are sometimes referred to as on-road and off-road station. These 2 terms are very much important. On-road station and off-road station. On-road station is the elevated kind of station, and off-road station is the at-grade kind of station. So there are again two other technical terms, on-road station and off-road stations. So these are two classes of stations which are above the ground surface, and third one is the underground station. The underground routes as well as the stations are provided in the congested and built up areas where there is no space where space consumption is the restriction. That means throughout the ground surface there are buildings and other constructions are already there. In that case, we have to opt for the underground or the tunneling. The space requirement for the underground stations because of the installation of the environmental control system and most importantly the tunnel ventilation system. So these special features or essential facilities must be there in case of underground stations. I have already told you in the last class. And in case of underground system, more amount of electrical power is required. The details of the underground stations and underground routing and tunneling and all those things we will discuss in the next classes, because the underground station, this kind of underground station, there are different parts. Like one part is the tunnel ventilation system. This is under mechanical part, EVS. Environmental control system, this is also under mechanical system. The construction and the tunneling, that is under the civil engineering works, and some parts of the signaling, those are under electronics parts. So these underground kind of stations and underground kinds of routes for the metro system is very much complex and a summation of different parts of the engineering. Is something more detailed thing we will discuss in the next classes, the upcoming classes. Now, after discussing these three kinds of stations, that means elevated stations, advanced stations, and underground stations, and two kinds of metro routes or metro system, that is the elevated system and underground system. After discussing all those things, now in the conclusion we can discuss about where we can go for, or we can opt for elevated type, and where we can go for the underground type. Now this is one important question also, that is the what are the features or what are the essential criteria where we can go for or opt for elevated or viaduct, elevated station or elevated route or viaduct, and where we can go for or opt for underground stations or tunneling. Now the answer is that there are two criteria. One is the economy, another is the space available at the ground surface. Now in case of elevated type of route or elevated type of station, more amount of space is required at the ground surface. But in case of underground stations or underground routing, lesser amount of space or lesser amount of land is required above the ground surface. Most of the parts are there under the ground. So in that case, obviously tunneling operation is required, and tunneling operation is very much costly process, and as we have already discussed, some special essential features, that is the tunnel ventilation system, environmental system, that yes, tunnel ventilation system, EVS, and environmental control system, ECS, this kind of special important features should be installed in case of underground metro system. So in that case, the underground metro system, underground stations are very much costly, and economy is also dependent on this kind of choosing which one should be better for any site or any location or any city. So these are two criteria. One is the economy and the space available or the land available. These two criteria are the opting characteristics for elevated station and underground station, or elevated system or viaduct or underground system, underground system or tunneling system, tunnel system. Okay, so these are the salient features for the classification of the metro stations, metro routes, and where we can opt for any of the class of stations or any of the class system of metro. So this is the discussion for today. If you have any question, any query, any doubt, you can ask. Otherwise, we can stop the discussion here and go for some task regarding your placement preparatory purpose.